Alright, welcome back to Haven Hearth. This is episode 2. I expected to do this a little sooner, but things got in the way. You can see the mini-map, and all of a sudden trees are visible, so I don't know why that wasn't showing up last time I was playing. There's an anthill. If you have Ender's client, I'm not too sure about the regular client. I haven't played that in a long time. But at least probably just Ender's client, but I don't know. It could be on the normal one. But for at least on Ender's, they have stuff show up on the mini-map, so it's easier to find things. Like you'll just be walking along and you don't have to spot it on the ground. You can see it on the mini-map. So there's an anthill. That's a really good way of getting some early curiosities. You can find some food in there. You just right-click on it. Well, I think you might need a skill. Speaking of skills, I'm going to try to focus on actually doing stuff this episode. So I'm going to try and remember how far I got in discoveries. That's nice. Still no bow on these ones. I really thought they had it at one point, but maybe I'm just crazy. Been too long since I've had to find discoveries. You can also tell stuff by the color on the minimap, like this darker area is cedar forest like this, and if you ever run across like that right there is grass, like just fields, open fields. You might probably find like some dandelions, which are curiosities over there. That's clearly some sort of town. I don't want to get tangled up with people right now. I'm just trying to find that light mixed forest I ran into last time. I think that's it up there. You can see this lighter green is the mixed forest. That pink area is Hearth, which is, well, there's just whole bunches of different biomes. You don't see a transition on the map, but the mini-map will show you. The Hearth animals spawn there, and I don't think you can farm on it, though. All of the biomes have their own special little rules. These birch trees are pretty good. When you get boat making, you'll need the bark. You shouldn't worry about collecting bark now, but you should, whenever you find a place to settle down and call home, you should find some birch trees nearby that you could get bark from occasionally. Because with boat making, you can make little like toy boat things for curiosities, which are pretty good. For I don't know, I think they're 6 to 8 hours, somewhere in there. So it's good to put one of those in before you go log off. But I shouldn't need to do too much more of this. There's not a whole lot of trees and stuff you need. There's these, not sure what these are, like hazelnut trees maybe. This is maple, I think. You can tell by checking the seeds. Yeah, hazelnut, maple. Control, if you hold control and left click, you can just drop stuff straight out of your inventory. I don't need any of this stuff. Well, I probably could have kept that cone, but I'm not gonna fish it. Well, did I? That looks like a cone cow. I'd feel silly. Yeah, I dropped it. So once you get some points, another thing I forgot last episode, now that I'm thinking about it, is personal beliefs. You want to be ticking this every time. think what I want to do. You can look on the Wikipedia to find out what all of these do, but night and day is kind of ridiculous. It's just the luck of what time it is. Like if you go day, you perform better during the day and have like higher health regeneration or something, and you get nothing for the night. So just keeping it in the middle is pretty good. Life and death, it's like death you get less health or something, and you get more damage, and life is you do less damage but you get more health. So I don't really play with that immediately. Civilization and barbarism is like you get plus 30% intelligence and charisma, and minus strength and maybe constitution, I'm not sure. And then barbarism is the complete mirror of that. You get plus strength and probably constitution and minus int. Nature and industry influences your gathering rates. Like if you go industry, you'll get a higher amount of iron and whatnot from your smelting, and you gather more clay, like floating clay in the rivers. But you only get like one seed from farming, so you can't ever like propagate a field. You can only repair what you've done. Like you harvest one and then you can plant it again, and that's all the seeds you get. Where in the middle you get two seeds, so you can harvest one tile and plant two. And then full nature, you could harvest one and get 3 seeds, which is also great if you're planning on being a farmer, because that, again, when I was saying about the seed generations, each seed increases by 5 to -2, just somewhere within that general scale between increasing by, well, I think it's actually the other way. I think it might, depending on the soil. If you hit the soil soft cap, then I think it's actually +2 -5. So you get every tile you harvest, you get 3 chances of getting a slightly better seed, and usually it comes out to where, like, in the series, it'll dump 3 seeds in your backpack, and the first one is usually the best seed, and it'll come out 2 points ahead or 1 point ahead, or if it was just bad luck, it'll be like at the quality you planted it, and then the second seed will be somewhere at quality or -1 to 2, and then the third seed will be pretty bad, like it'll be the -5 seed. At least that's what I've seen from a lot of farming. Martial, peaceful, I don't know. I've completely forgotten what that does. I think it affects your damage, and well, clearly martial affects your damage, but I'm not sure what peaceful does. And tradition and change is the important one. This will tick toward change no matter what you touch. So if I clicked it towards life, it'll also click towards change. If you want to make no choices here, then you can click it. But this affects your learning rate. Like here I have learning ability 100%. Going towards change increases this. And I think there was another one. I think peaceful, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think peaceful gives you an extra 30% learning, which at full change goes to 60 or something, and then full change gives you a bunch. So if you got full change and full peaceful, I believe, then you get 360% learning, which is just excellent. It's just like, this thing gives you 65 LP, and it'll be giving you like 180 or 200 something with full change and peaceful. So I'm going to go ahead and push that. It ticks this and this. You can just click this by itself, but it just seems wasteful. Especially in the beginning, you want to be playing with these. Again, you should look up what they do and what you want. Just starting off in the game, you probably just want to be a farmer or something, but it's personal taste. I mean, it's a sandbox game. Do what you please. But this is another important thing. 20 hours, and I believe this is in-game hours. Like, you have to be playing for this long. You can't log off and come back on tomorrow. And you can't just, leave the computer and stand there You could probably, like, I don't know, rig your computer, like leave something clicking your mouse or something. Something to keep you active, but you have to be active for like 20 hours, so it can be a little ridiculous. But as long as you keep checking change up, this lowers, and I think the last one, like I think once you get it to full change, it'll only be 8 to 6 hours before you can keep changing something. But it also affects your death. When you die, if you're full change, you only get to keep like 20% of your points or something, really low. And if you go full tradition, like if you're gonna be like a combatant and stuff, you want to like train yourself up and then swing into tradition before you go into like risky situations like constant warfare or something. Because if you die with full tradition, you get to keep like 60% of your points or something like that. Death still hurts a lot, and I've never had full tradition when I've died, which is why it hurts a whole lot. But I don't know a lot of people that actually do full tradition, because it has the negative effect. It has the mirror effect of full change, where you have a lot less learning ability. So even though you're more protected from death, you're not making as much day to day in learning points. You have like a max of 60 or something like that. It's a lot less. Like that 64 cone cow would only be like 40. And it's just, I don't know, a lot of people, including myself, just stick with full change. So I got some points. I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and get some skills. I don't need any of these yet. I mean, exploration would be good. I could, like, getting that to 10 pretty quick would help find things. Like, you'll start seeing stuff on the ground that you can pick, but I'm thinking right now more important would be buying the essential beginning skills. I'm thinking I'm getting the right ones here. I don't think I need that. You can see the game's still well in development even after these years. Lore text. They just recently stopped working on it to do Salem, but they finished that, I don't know, last month or two. So they'll probably come back and work on this. You can already see, like, I was getting 50 before, but because I have more learning, where is it? See, I got 129 now from going to peaceful and change one tick. That I'm getting like 65 for discovery. Alright, so I got lumberjacking, so I think I can start cutting the stuff. Yeah, this stump will hurt my stamina. Wow, that's loud. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so this will take a while, and if you need to de-stump a large area, it's going to take some patience. I sort of remember there being like a progress bar for everything you did. Oh, there it is. Okay. So you can see how it's going. It's about half done. This is a part of the boring side of things. You sort of just work through it though. Like you set yourself a goal, and then all the little chores leading up to the goal sort of become more blurred as you're going. Just sort of counting your steps. Do step 1, do step 2, do step 3, and then you get to your goal. So there I discovered wood blocks. I think I can I should be able to bring up. This extended button here is only in the Ender client. It just adds extra functionality. Like I should be able to bring up my study window. I clicked it, but I don't see it. Oops. Yeah, I don't know what that. It should have, but it didn't. It's not hiding anywhere. It's fine. Animal highlights turned on, so I should be able to see a red circle around boars and bears, and I think it was showing foxes before. I don't need anything else here. But I should have got some more, fishing pole, 2 sticks. I'm not going to be able to fish really soon because you need a bone, and the first bone you get is probably going to be from a rabbit. I remember seeing a rabbit to the south a ways. I might go hunting it real quick here. But crafting is easy as just getting the materials, having it in your backpack, and clicking craft, and then it'll throw it in here. For the fishing pole, you need the fishing pole, and then you need a piece of string, which you can find with exploration. I don't think I'm going to find any with one exploration. And you can see these get progressively more expensive as you go, so I'm only going to put 2 points in there. Perception multiplies against your exploration to get a total exploration. So a lot of the good stuff you can find around 2,000, 3,000, up to 5,000 exploration, but there's sort of a cap, like you don't want to go any higher than that because you can already find everything. So you want to put a lot of points into exploration, but not a ton, because as your character ages, you'll just naturally get more and more perception, and eventually you'll be needing less perception to hit the max that you want to shoot for, and you can't take points out of perception. So the older you get, the less points you need in perception. I mean exploration. You gain perception from eating food. Like, I don't think, you can eat raw meat. It'll give you 1 hard hit point. I don't have any damage, but you can see there's 3 HP bars sort of just stacked on top of each other here. You got a red one, a yellow one, and probably a black one. As you get hit, your red bleeds into yellow, and it'll naturally heal back along the yellow. And then if it goes black a bit, that means you need some sort of healing to recover the black health bar back to yellow or red. Usually bandages or leeches. Leeches take forever, but those are pretty much your 2 options. Except for maybe this. I've never tried eating raw rabbit meat before. But I'm thinking that's not actually healing you. I think that's probably just the stat. Like when you eat, you fill up this, which is your attributes. So if you ate a carrot, it has like 3 or like 1 point of perception or something. I'm not sure if it has anything else. I'd have to have it in my hand to know. Let's see what this is. Oh, there's that rabbit. Good. This is going to be a saw. And this poor guy's house has been broken into. A rabbit is a 4x4, so you need all that open, and the trick is to get right up next to it, because it's going to try to run. You might as well flip to your fastest speed, try to get on top of it, and then grab it. Now you got the rabbit. You need hunting to be able to do this. If you try to do this without hunting, you'll just be clicking and nothing will happen. Now that you got the rabbit, you check to make sure it's not the rare rabbit. It's not the rare rabbit. It'll be called like a jackalope or something, and it'll look weird. I think it does. I've actually never found one. It's like a 1 out of 5,000 chance or something. But the rare rabbit is a curiosity, and you study it, and it's worth a lot of points. If you find one, people will trade you for it, like pretty much whatever you want. You right click on it, you wring its neck, now you got a dead rabbit, and then you butcher it. Boom. All those. And yes, actually, the bone has unlocked the bone saw, so bone and stick. Actually, I had a stick, so I didn't need to grab some, but it's fine. Bone saw. Craft. And I'm going to have to stick it in there. Okay. Now, usually, if you're not a fighter, you're walking around with your hatchet and your saw out. Unless you're hunting, then you'll probably have your hatchet and your sling or something, or bow. And that's if you're hunting by boat. If you're hunting with your fists or something, then you've been playing this game for long enough that you don't need to be watching this. Because if you're hunting with your fists, then you're well off. Probably 100 or more strength. 100 or more unarmed. So this is an example of a pretty advanced base. This looks a little bit like my village. Not as mine isn't as big though. Mine's just me. It's more of a hermit village. So it's like just this area. And it's all empty. This is the most advanced house you can get. It's a stone mansion. It is really tough to build, but you can build a basement, which isn't in this house, so whoever built this probably didn't have long with it, because one of the first things you do is build a basement. And it came with an upstairs. Well, it comes with the upstairs already. That's why it's a nice house. It comes with. You use this as indoor storage. You can't store stuff outside for very long because it decays. I'm not sure if it still decays because these cabinets only take one hit of decay, so if the random decay hits the cabinet, it breaks. So I'm still of the belief that they turned off decay. I'm not sure if they did or not, but it definitely doesn't appear that decay is on yet because of all the lag and people just left. I'll show you how to get seeds in another video, but I'm going to grab one of these just so I have. And flax are these little blue flowers. They're used for cloth primarily. I think that's it. I haven't played in a long time, so I'm just kind of winging it. I think it's just cloth. This is, I believe this is like a highway post or something. I thought they took them out of the game. Let's see if it works. Yeah. It's pretty neat. It should take you along the path automatically. And then these little milestones or whatever kind of break the trip up, so like if you wanted to turn that way, you wouldn't have to build another post like the starter post, and you could just build these little waypoints and then put turns in the road. I'm not totally sure why they have all these posts here. Usually only one. I'm not totally sure. I've never built this before, so mainly because in World 4 you learned a lot of survival tricks, and one of the survival tricks was never build a road, because people just follow it to your house, break in, and kill you. So it's a little surprising to see this, and it leads nowhere. As you can see, they were planning on expanding it, I guess. I think that's another rabbit on the mini-map. You sort of want to keep an eye on the mini-map. Yes, I found some string. So this rabbit is going to be the fishing hook, and then the string right there is a little root, but you can use the root as string. So we'll have a finished fishing rod, which is good. I'm just gonna have to clean out my inventory a little bit. You want to rush really and get a backpack. It just makes life easier. You also want to settle down quickly so that see there, I screwed it up. The way to get this now, you cancel the battle like that. Up here in the corner, it'll have a picture of whatever you're fighting, and then crossed swords. If both swords are crossed, like both swords are there and they're crossed, that means you and the thing you're fighting are aggressive and the battle's going on. If you click it, it'll remove your sword from the cross, and then if it still has its sword going, then it wants to fight you and you don't want to fight it. But if it's an NPC like a bear or something, it doesn't care and it's just going to chase you around. But if it removes its sword, like the rabbit will always have its sword removed, then you click on it and it'll remove your sword and exit combat, because none of the swords will be there. So that's how you cancel combat. And in this case, that's how you make things like rabbits stop running from you. Because if you don't cancel it, it'll run like a screen and a half away for the combat to normally cancel, and then you'll have a hard time finding it without it showing up on the mini-map. I'm worried I can't catch it yet, and I think I found out why. I need room. Even if I did actually stand on top of it and click on it, there wasn't any room in my backpack to get it. So there we go, got it butchered. I'm going to hang on to these rabbit skins because they'll go towards the backpack. I don't know where I'm going to end up building the little house, but I don't like this area. There's plenty around here, but I need to explore it a little more. You don't want to just pick your home haphazardly, like, oh, this place will do. I haven't explored, but you could be living right next to, who knows, an angry Russian city or something. So it's good to explore. You can, if you're using the Enders client, you can drag your mini-map open as large as you want, and you can just get a feel for where you've been. You can go on the forums and get some custom stuff to combine all your mini-maps, because every time you log into the game it starts a new mini-map session, but it saves all of your old ones, and you can get like a compiler to compile all your mini-maps together and get a sort of a personal world map for yourself of where you've been. So that's pretty handy. This is a fairly telltale sign that this was all forest, and then he cut down all of these trees, and over time it'll turn to grassland like this if you don't replant the trees. So it's a good idea to replant your trees if you don't want it to go to grassland like this. There's things you can find on the grassland, so if you don't actually live near grassland, that's one way to make it. Animals will spawn on grassland, so this person has a chance of like cows or sheep spawning here near his house. You can also get the dandelions and other things that show up on the grass. But if you know the situation's reversed and you don't have a lot of forest, you want to preserve it by replanting the trees, so the grassland tile here doesn't get removed. To get the fishing, you need to make the hook. one bone. Now, like I showed you before, this fishing rod, you take the string, left click to pick it up, right click to add it. So now this rod's got a string, which you can see. It's got a hook, which you can't see, and I need to put bait on it. You can dig to get worms, which is a really good way to fish if you can get worms. Digging has its other uses, so if you can find a reason to dig and keep the worms, that's a great way. Otherwise, you have to make lures, which takes a block. At least the cheap lure does. You make a wow. I don't have it, do I? I don't. See if I can find it somewhere else. No, it wouldn't be anywhere else. I don't know. I'm confused. I was gonna make a wood fish, but I didn't see it there. Looking again doesn't help. My wood fish is missing. Great. Well, I know where some birch trees are, so I'll grab a cone and I'll head up to the birch trees. I accidentally left the speed on. That's why my stamina is down to 24%. Speed works great on these roads, though, so I should be able to get on this road and maintain my run. Whenever I get enough stamina. I'll just walk. It wouldn't kill me. So you want to get a boat too. That's not the first thing you want to be worried about. I mean, if you want to be like exploring a wider area, then yes, boating is pretty important, and it's not difficult. Boating, I believe, is expensive, like 2,000 points. So it's not something you can get overnight, but it would probably take you a day or two to get the points together to get boating, and then the boat itself is a chore to build. It's 40 boards, which you need the saw to make. 40 boards and like 5 blocks. These things. So 5 of them, not too difficult to get, but the 40 boards are like 5 trees you gotta cut down, I think. Or just maybe 3 of these trees. No, four of these trees. These big ones. I'm not sure what they're called right now. These big ones give you 3 chunks of wood. Normal trees give you 2, and I think apple trees only give you 1. I don't usually cut down apple trees, so I can't really remember, but I believe apple trees just give 1. That's why you shouldn't waste your time cutting them down. But somebody definitely came out here and chopped down a bunch of trees and just left them. I have no idea why. Usually you cut down trees and carry the wood back to make a wood stockpile. I don't even know what that is. Maybe... I don't know, Spanish or Portuguese, I'm not sure. Foxes won't attack you, but their circle isn't white because they're not safe to attack. Rabbits, you attack them, they'll run away. Foxes won't attack you, but if you attack a fox, it'll fight you back. And you don't want to play with foxes for a while, unless you got, great. Unless you got a like, decent amount of unarmed, because your unarmed was a UA. Unarmed combat. People just call it UA. You need that around like 30 to 40 to be able to beat a fox to death. The animals are sort of unbalanced like that for combat. I think it was a lot easier to kill foxes in the past, so they just made them more difficult. It's not super hard to get your unarmed combat high enough. Like 30 to 40 is probably like a week to focus that up. And but that's how all melee combat goes. Unless you're using ranged, like slings and bows, it doesn't use your unarmed combat. But like if you're fighting with your fists or you're fighting with a sword, the little combat system they have is based off your unarmed ability first. Like it'll take your unarmed and compare it against their unarmed, and then that's sort of your defense. So if your unarmed's higher than their unarmed, you'll have more defense, and they'll have a harder time breaking your defense to be able to do damage to you. I'm going to grab this string even though I'm kind of pressed for inventory space, because stuff breaks on your fishing pole a lot if you're not using worms. Like if you're using, like I'm going to be using this pine cone plug, it sort of damages parts of your rod when you're using it, and then something will break, and a lot of the time you can replace stuff, and it's usually the line or the bait itself. Like the pine plug will be gone, or the string will be gone. If you're really unlucky, it's the bone. It's harder to replace. But most of the discovery's done now. I'm going to drop this meat. I already got 2. I don't need any more. I believe it's the bark, yes. Okay, so grab the bark, got that. Got the cone, crafting the plug, then we put it on the rod. This is like 35 minutes now or something. You're going to run up to the river, do some quick fishing, and then that's going to be it for this episode. This game is a little slower. It's good if you got people to play with. You can just kind of judge your progress along with theirs. You could also go on the forum if you just despise cows. And this is lag. It used to lag like that every second back when it was lagging. Like you'd get 2 steps and then your character would walk off into oblivion for like 10 seconds and then snap back, and then you'd make it another 2 steps. It was ugly. Here's some cows. You don't want to play with them. Not at all. They'll beat you to death. And if you touch one of these cows funny, like some of them should have, like you can check them. I'm not sure if you need a skill, but sometimes you'll find a hair on one of them, and it'll want to know if you want to pick it. It's not a good idea if you don't know what you're doing. It'll piss off the cow, and the whole herd it's in will attack you, which is like instant death if again, you don't know what you're doing. You want to be close to the river like this, because you can then sprint, which is your fastest on Hearth. You can sprint to the river, get on your boat, and then they can't swim, so they'll just pile up on the shore, still aggroed to you, and then you can deal with them that way. Oh wow, that's upsetting. Somebody put like you can see the edge on each side of this. It's like somebody built a wall of territory here to prevent you from walking across. I'm gonna see if it's really big. If it's big, I'm gonna have to turn on criminal acts and cross it. You don't. If they find you while you're online and you trespassed, they can knock you out or something. That's about as worse as it gets. if you log off, they can't summon you with that. So trespassing all by itself isn't horrible. It's just sort of like a. I'm trying to think of what it's like. It's sort of like a registry or something like that. It's just they get a list of everybody that's come through here. Like if they get your scent and then they track you down and they know who you are, they can name you in their kin or whatever. The social window here. Like, you can find people, right-click on them, memorize them, and then they'll come up as question marks, and then you can give them names and stuff, and then you just sort of kind of build a registry for yourself in here, like, Wanderer 1 and Wanderer 2, and, like, maybe color somebody orange and be like Thief, and if you ever run into those people again, you'll know who they are. I'm gonna get the fishing pole ready here. I'm not gonna try to waste too much time. This is how it'll look when it's ready to go. It'll have a line and hook on it. Still trying to get used to these buttons. Keep clicking on the wrong stuff. And then you need a free hand to put it in. And then you want to look for fish jumping in the water. Like, you can try fishing anywhere you like, but usually you come up with nothing until you find a fishing node, and they'll have fish jumping. And you can deplete the node by overfishing it. It'll regenerate and come back, and there's a boat. Oh my god. And it hasn't decayed. Another reason why I think they turned decay off. I mean, if somebody left this boat here for a couple days, because it's in the water, it'll rot away really quickly. So you get in the boat with a Vast. You don't need any skill to drive this puppy. You just cruise the river, and life just got real easy. This is like the car of this game. The boat is your freedom. It lets you traverse the world at breakneck speeds. And the river system is sprawling. Like, the world generation puts the rivers everywhere. So, there's rivers going everywhere you might want to go. I'm going to turn this back on, because I saw this little guy over here. Let's see if I can show you. Oops, just passing by. He's sneaky, hiding by this tree. This thing is an area expansion for a village. So, turning on the village claim. This little thing expands the village's claim. And this little pot here probably indicates that there's some high quality water here, which also facilitates why you want to move around. You sort of explore the world. Oop, there's a fish. I can fish here. Venture fish. Just anywhere near the jumping fish. And you should drag fish to your hotbar so that you can just quickly, you don't have to navigate all these crazy menus to find what you're after. There, I caught a fish. It looks like a brill. And if I'm right, I'm a nerd. Yep. I've played this too long. If I can tell what the fish are just by looking at it. Hopefully I catch a bunch of little fish, because I don't have a lot of room for the big fish. I'm going to put that flower in there, dandelion, 40 minutes. There's another brill, quality 11. More evidence that the high quality node is over there where the claim is on the river. Unfortunately, this world is so old that you're not going to find anything good anymore. You should probably look around abandoned villages like this. Villages usually sprout out along something valuable, or at least if the village planner was intelligent, they would find a quality node of something, either soil or water, and put their village there. So, sand. At my old village, I found good sand, which is dangerous. So I didn't actually build my village on the sand. Some people do that, and I did find a destroyed village Somebody just bulldozed that village to get to the sand, which you'll see a lot of. I remember finding back in World 4 and 5, finding people would mark high quality clay, because clay is probably the most valuable resource in the game. Slightly behind stone. And finding high quality stone is pretty hard, and clay. And I remember finding a high quality stone, not terribly high quality, it was like 70, 80-ish. And somebody left a rock that said, like, keep it free or we'll kill you, or something like that. And and I just thought that was funny. That said, that people wanted to keep the good nodes open for everybody to come and exploit. But unfortunately, late game like this, it becomes node warfare, where the big villages raid each other. Like, there's really large power blocks, like just 2 or 3 large villages. I don't know what the power structure is anymore. But they fight each other. They kind of sprawl the map with their little holdings. Like, they'll find a high quality soil, and they'll find high quality whatever, and they'll build defenses around it, and they just war each other, and they'll go and break into their clay area and just dig it out. And what that means is they just dig out all the high quality clay and dump it on the ground and destroy it. Because when you take from the quality, it lowers it. Not permanently, it regenerates really slowly, but if you go to like somebody's like quality 80, 90 clay and dig it down to 10, it's going to take months for it to recover, and that just hurts their economy. They'll have a harder time making weapons and whatnot to re-equip their soldiers and stuff, and making new alts, because that's what they do really. They make alts, and they just focus them into warrior stats and build them up for fighting. And there's a bear. Wow. If I had a sling and 10 marksmanship, I would sit here for an hour killing it, because that bear would yield so much. Bears are also a trading commodity. You go on the forum, and the forums are just full of traders. You go into, what is it, like apples for oranges, I think, is the tab, the forum thread, and you can trade bears for stuff. They have a point system for most trader shops, which will be their own thread, like, I don't know, Emerald City trader thread and stuff. They'll accept bears and stuff. They like them unbutchered, because your skill sucks. So if you butchered this bear, you'd get like quality 50 stuff, but if they butchered this bear, they'd get like the full like 150 or whatever bear quality goes up to. So they'll want it unbutchered. So if you could kill that bear and then quickly get it to market, you could get some points and buy some equipment you need, like a good backpack or a good axe. Like my quality 5 axe is just laughably bad. You should probably get that to quality 10 as quick as you can. But I've rattled on long enough. I'm gonna end the episode here. Next episode, I want to get like a little camp going, like just a fire, cook some of this fish, and find some more. Focus on getting some more exploration, so that I can just troll the rivers, finding things to get some points. So I'll see you in the next episode.